Okay, so Demi Prescott says, I didn't know about the windows. Yeah, a lot of preachers and stuff, they don't really talk about the windows because they just leave you to believe that it's talking. It leads you to just imagine in your mind, oh, windows. Whenever you read windows in your in windows of heaven, you imagine in your mind the clouds and they rain, the clouds rain, and that's got to be the windows. And the pastors, they just allow you to believe that, okay? But the literal interpretation of the word window is what you would think of in a building. You open the window and it lets cool air in. You close the window, okay? And it stops letting stuff pass through. So the windows in the firmament at the time of Noah's flood, it says that the windows let water pass through, and the and that's partly what helped to fill up the earth with water. Okay, they constantly say, oh, most of the water came up from underneath the ground. No, it didn't. It came from the sky. It rained on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. Most of the water came from the sky. These windows that were opened in the firmament were big. They were massive. And they allowed a lot of water to pass through them because we are living in a biodome that's underneath a larger ocean of water. There's an entire ocean of water. Heaven might very well be an aquatic environment. So, okay. So, yeah, that's great comment. Thanks.
NASA's already trying to spin their CGI mistakes as other things. So, the plushie toy that had the CGI lettering in it, they're now trying to spin that and say, oh no, that was the television broadcasting. They accidentally put the letters in there, and that is totally explainable. When in history has that ever happened? Just NASA. Just a NASA footage has that. Then they send the doctored footage where they cleaned up the CGI to the news. And now the news is showing you, look, here's what NASA's actual footage looks like. This is the actual footage. Guys, we're smarter than this. They messed up. It's very obvious. You can see it throughout all of the footage. There's green screen glitches everywhere because they're not up in space, because you can't leave this Earth. It's a closed firmament. So the news is going to try to spin it as, oops, my bad. Don't believe it. Hey, Artemis 2 crew, you totally missed the mark. You didn't take a picture of the flag that is on the moon. How did you not do that? That is a historic flag that is sitting on the moon, and you guys just flew right on by and took a bunch of tiny Earth photos and decided to leave the most crucial piece of human existence alone and not capture it. I say fake. I say no moon landing. I say you didn't go around the moon. I say you were in a Hollywood studio the entire time.
Today I'm going to be debunking the notion that the Earth is precessing and wobbling and proving that the Earth is stationary using 13 towers of Chenkio. This here is an archaeological structure that shows the position of the sun rising and setting at a specific time of year. Now, for thousands of years, this has actually remained constant. The sun's position has never changed. This is a simple animation of what the axial precession of Earth is supposedly doing. The sun's position should change throughout the year, and it hasn't for thousands of years. Now, let's hear what Brian Cox has to say about this.
These towers form an ancient solar calendar. Now, at different times of year, the sunrise point is at a different place on the horizon. Actually, December 21st, which here in the southern hemisphere is the summer solstice, the longest day, then the sun rises just to the right of the rightmost tower. Then, as the year passes, the sun moves through the towers until on June 21st, which is the winter solstice, the shortest day, it rises just to the left of the leftmost tower, actually just in between that mountain you can see in the distance and the leftmost tower. So At any time of year, if you watch the sun rise, you can measure its position and you can tell within an accuracy of 2 or 3 days the date. Today's date is September the 15th, and so that means that the sun will rise between the 5th and the 6th towers.
Chankio still works as a calendar because the sun still rises in the same place today as it did when these stones were first laid down.
That is a magnificent sight as the sun burns through the towers.
So if therefore there is in fact a axial precession of the Earth throughout the years, this position of the sun should change throughout the years, and it hasn't for thousands of years, over 2,000 years, proving in fact that the Earth is stationary.
Yes, I will make the positive claim Earth has Coriolis. I need to
Does the sniper have to adjust for it?
past about 1,000 yards, yes. It is something you have to consider.
If we're in a hovering hot air balloon and we're in there for 24 hours, are we going to see the Earth scoot under us?
No, sir. The hot air balloon is not on a trajectory like the bullet is. It is not getting deflected on the globe model.
So if we put the sniper in a hot air balloon, what happens?
Like when he does what?
When he fires a shot, what happens?
The shot is deflected because it's on a trajectory.
But not the hovering hot air balloon he's in.
It is not deflected because it's not on a trajectory.
Does the Earth rotate under something, a hot air balloon that's moving north?
Yes. It's carried by the air, though. The bullet has a trajectory.
So if we stop hovering, every time that hot air balloon stops hovering, the Earth stops rotating under it.
No, that's not a description of Coriolis.
Or you're just completely lost. You don't know what Coriolis is.
I know perfectly what Coriolis is. Do you think it's a specific or non-specific
Is that
fact?
Coriolis on screen? Is that Coriolis on screen that you just witnessed? That ball deviation there, the deflection you just did?
Yeah, sure. It's a good demonstration of it.
Oh, okay, great. So if I throw a ball on the Earth, does it deviate?
Yes.
The Earth rotates under a ball when you throw it.
I'm not getting your issue with it.
You just made a positive claim that the Earth rotates under a ball. Yes? Is that what you just said? Because now don't change it now, because this is all.
Well, yeah, I'd be lying if I was being inconsistent saying it affected some cases and not others.
If we hover a balloon above the Earth, a neutrally buoyant balloon, okay, is the Earth going to rotate under it?
No, because it is aerodynamic forces keeping it near.
So you're inconsistent. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for playing. So is this what it does on reality?
It's hard for me to say zoomed in, but it appears to be, yeah.
Oh, well, that's a flat Earth. So, yeah, you just proved
Okay, well,
if I change it to a globe now,
yeah,
it's going to be all out of whack. So the plane would have to nose down now to get to 2 degrees, right? Because it's facing away from the Earth, right? Does it need to nose down to get to 2 degrees? Because I haven't adjusted.
If you're setting a static reference point that is not tied to the surface of the Earth, then yes.
On a flat Earth, you just agreed it doesn't happen. On a globe, you said it does happen. So does the plane need to nose down around a curve, yes or no?
No.
So if I fly and don't nose down, it faces away from the Earth. That's exactly what you just saw on the model that was 100% to scale. Does that happen in reality?
It was 100% to scale, but it was not factoring in the gravitational pull.
Does this happen in reality?
No.
All right, welcome to Flat Earth. That's a point for the Flat Earth. So,
is it okay if I address that before we move on to the next thing, Angel?
Yeah, you're going to just address it by making every excuse as to why it flies flat and stationary, which we've both agreed to.
Well, no.
Does the plane adjust for curvature and altitude as it flies, yes or no?
It adjusts for altitude, yeah.
No, it doesn't. In straight level flight, does the Earth curve down and away? Earlier you said no. Does it curve down and away from the plane?
Yes.
Okay, so now you've changed your mind now. So now the
No, I said that from the
beginning. So if the Earth if the Earth is curving down and away from the plane, which you said it wasn't earlier, does the plane need to adjust for curvature?
No.
Is mean sea level curved?
Yes.
Does the plane adjust for curvature?
No.
Welcome to Flat Earth. All right, so we go from Capricorn to Cancer, north to south. Does the plane adjust for Earth spinning?
I'm not sure if at that distance it would need to. I know most flights over 12 hours, if I'm not mistaken.
Bro.
But I could be wrong on that. But I do know that
So
when you're doing a really long flight, you do have to account for it.
So the Earth spins under the plane.
Yes. Yeah.
Spin under a hovering hot air balloon.
To a very, very small amount. Yes. But that effect is much more mild then, because the hot air balloon is not moving at nearly the speed an airplane is, or the distance.
We're in a hovering helicopter. Does the Earth rotate under us?
So for a helicopter, because the helicopter is being propelled by pushing off of the air, it would depend on the air currents. But yes, it would. But because if you were like hovering at like a low altitude, like let's say 50 feet above the ground, the helicopter is pushing like air from directly beneath the propeller blades to the ground. So that's the reference point that it's pushing off of. So I would imagine with the rotation in that case, I don't think you would notice it, no.
I'm not wasting my time with your script.
Oh, we were talking about the sky for 10 minutes earlier, no problem. Now that it's my turn to present actual evidence of the ground not curving, he's got to go. That means running away, yeah.
You have a script that nobody cares about. You're on your script. This is like the 40th time you've said this.
Debunk it then.
You've been saying this for like 40 times. And I'm pretty sure I can put a whole video together on how many times you brought this up.
Is this below the curve, Zamboni?
I don't know. I don't know the picture.
Oh, so first it's a script that I've done 40 times that he could make a video about, but now he doesn't know what the picture is. You see, the reason why he's desperately trying to run away from this is because that entire mountain should be below the Earth's curvature over 100 meters, and we're seeing the mountain. So he has to claim in his globe religion, and according to his globe religion, that the entire mountain is below the curve, but we're seeing it. So he knows the game. He knows what happens when I bring this up, and it completely destroys the globe. So this is why he's desperately running away. Do you see the mountain?
Yeah.
Oh, welcome to
How far is that? How far is it?
How far is it? I thought it was a script, Zamboni, that I've done 40 times. 296 kilometers to the mountains.
I gotta go. My family's here. You're not important to me. Thanks, Dad.
So we all saw him run away, and it's not the first time. I was on other lives where he's been in the comments for literally an hour straight, just like a weirdo, following flat earthers around. And then when it's time to come up on panel, he doesn't want to come up on panel. At least I had enough balls to go up on a Globy Live, and he still ran away. So he's just a straight up liar. He just makes an excuse to run away from me, and he knows I'll destroy him. That's why he doesn't want to talk about the ground. Anything but the curvature of the Earth, which is the topic in question. Welcome to Flat Earth, Zamboni, you peanut.
So here's another Bible that I came across. The World. These are the pillars. I'll zoom in on it so you guys can see it. So over here on the side it says ocean. And then it's over here on the other side you can see the N. Over here it says ocean. But these are supposed to be the pillars and the foundations. This is the entrance to hell. Obviously this over here is the earth. I think these are maybe supposed to represent the fountains of the deep. So when God flooded the earth, they sprung up. You guys know them as the geysers. Also, these are I think these are the stars. This is the moon. These are stars, and it's the sun. This is the floodgates. Floodgate, another gate, and another gate. So when God flooded the earth, the fountains of the deep went up, and then the floodgates opened. And then the firmament, and then God sits above the firmament. And in this Bible, they say dome. And these are examples of the dome. So you see it's something that's solid. These are all solid examples. And none of these are giving the word atmosphere or space, like literal domes. Like we live inside of a snow globe. or a terrarium. A perfect enclosed ecosystem. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a peasant. I mean, it's not like the rockets always go up and curve. It's not like the rainbows always curve. Or do they? Over here it says abyss, and it says abyss right here. So we don't know how far down these things go because we've only dug 7.9 miles deep before we hit an impenetrable barrier. And we don't know how big the Earth is. You know, before NASA came along, they were exploring the oceans, and then all of a sudden they went up and out. It's almost like, hey, look over here, don't look over there. Well, the oceans have only been explored by like 20%, and like 70% of the Earth is water. See? Only 25% has been explored, leaving 75% unexplored. Earth is approximately 71% water. So the geysers are endless waters that shoot up, right? Some of them are dried up, others are not. But as you can see, like the line comes down here as it goes into the abyss of water, right? So it's endless water, right? That's why there's like probably like waterfalls at the top of like mountains that have like endless amounts of water that seem to come out. And the firmament is waters above us, which is probably why the sky is blue. And look, it's like a perfect rainbow shape. Anyways, and this is the Hebrews, what the Hebrews believed that the earth is. And it's not just the Hebrews that believed that the earth is like this. Multiple different ancient ancestors believed the earth is like this. And the copyright of this Bible was, I think, 1924.
I believe them. We all did. You still believe it, don't you? We all believe them.
Yeah. It's dedicated to the truth seekers. The ones living below the firmament knowing the deal. It's all good, baby.
Check. Yeah. It was all a dream, I used to read NASA tales. Apollo and Artemis, Hollywood veils. Posters on my wall every Saturday night. Watching them stage the moon landing in plain sight. I let my tape rock till my tape pop. Smoking herb in the basement watching CGI flop. Way back when I had the red and black lumberjack, singing through the fraud like a laundry rack. Biggie, 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 can't you see? This Artemis mission trickery. The casting is stole from a hollow dome. All the masses just follow the tone. Yeah, NASA's a cartel, Artemis is the hype.
The flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni, and he lived between 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Eddie Alenkar. Known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo, I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional mapmaker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my online store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.